Yo, what up? It's the Squeegee Live podcast. I'm here with Mark Tanner, Louis Coatney from the PWMCA or PWMCA. How the fuck you say that? It's super sweet. You know how it goes. We're here to talk about what do you do? Like, what do you where you're like a you clean stuff, right?
I just clean stuff, yeah. Pressure wash, soft wash.
There you go. But the most importantly, we are here to talk about the PWMCA's expo in February. What day is that? February what, Louis?
It's the 20th through the 23rd.
Okay, and that's in Myrtle Beach, correct?
Myrtle Beach, yes.
All right. Let me see here. We got a bunch of people commenting and stuff, man. Jason Lehman, Superior Services, Jonathan Garcia, Henry's Window Cleaning. Shoot, Window Cleaner Pros. Mike the Glass Guy. Chris Johnson, Mike. Kevin Hargis. Shoot, what up, though? So, we were funning around about this earlier, but we met Louis in Kansas City at the cheap shit.
At the Red Shit.
The Done Red Shit store, grand store opening. He is the gentleman whose son you guys seen all over Facebook cleaning windows. A little feller was cleaning windows and stuff. And now he's like fucking big time, dude. You know what I mean? 2 years later, big time. He's all big timing us and shit. The man with the plan. What's up, Big Squeegee? Everybody give this a like. You know what I mean? You know how we do it here. So, what is the what's the PWMCA all about, man? What is this all about? Can you give us an overview?
PWMCA, it's just it's another organization. We're just trying to bring some different things to the table. Trying to create different networking ways. Just bringing people to the table to help give some education, what have you. Education. That's what we're all about, is the education more than anything. So, but anyhow, the networking, the education, throwing these events to where people can, we have gathers up. This event we have coming up in Myrtle Beach, we got a great lineup of speakers, just people to talk, tell their story,
So you've got
tips, tricks.
You've got Casper Shoring.
Yes.
Who else do you have?
We got Casper. Philip's going to be there. We're going to have. There's a lot of pressure washing guys. Gene O'Neill's going to be there. I know I'm going to leave some of these guys out, so I don't name all my own.
Chef, is Joe Henry Hardy going to be there?
Patrick Clark's going to be there, so there's going to be quite a few good guys there that it's worth the while. So you were kind enough to be like, yo, man, I got some tickets set aside if you guys want some tickets. So if anyone's interested in going to the PWMCA in Myrtle Beach in February, just hit me up, man, and I'll get you in touch with Louis, or hit Louis up. And because me and Chris Lambernides have decided over the last couple of days that we're going to roll down there. I mean, I'm going to meet him in Washington, and we're just going to carpool together and roll down there. It should be a great time, dude. So, from what I hear, Myrtle Beach in February is not that bad. They had this event last year, and I wasn't able to go to that one because I still wasn't, doing too well yet as a business, and financially I just couldn't do it. But this year I ain't making any excuses. You just got to make it happen. When you want to do something, you just make it happen.
Right.
I mean, that's what you did with Branson just a while back. So,
right.
Just
make it happen. Yeah.
Right.
How long has the PWMCA been around? Is this a fairly new org?
Yeah, it's fairly new. We started it. When was it? I believe it was September is when we launched off. We started off with an event in New Jersey.
Okay.
So we had a lot of great people there speaking too as well. And this is kind of going to be the
big New Jersey and Myrtle Beach are going to be the big ones, and then we'll have a few smaller ones throughout the year. Just little events, what have you. So.
Okay. So, what does it take? What do you have? What steps do you have to take if you want to be part of the PWMCA?
Well, to be a part of the MWMCA. I'm sorry, I can't spit it out tonight either. You guys got the tongue twister on it. It's I believe it's man, I got it right here in front of me. It's been a while for me to look at it.
Can I, Gilbert, excuse me,
it's $289 for a membership.
Okay.
Is
that for the
PWMCA is the way to go? Okay, this guy is a hoax. Let me tell you something. We challenged them to a kickball game, and they didn't show up. Come on, Gilbert, let's go.
To be part of the PWMCA, first off, no air horns are allowed.
Okay, no air horns. All right, there. So we got that covered.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So anyway,
is there a way to filter money to a
$289 to join?
Account, maybe in a third-party offshore account?
It's $289, and then with that, it comes. We've got Facebook pages, of course, where we upload content to it. Try to, pretty regularly.
Is that $2.89 a month or $289 a year?
$289 a year.
Okay.
$289 a year.
So you got resources for like learning tools and shit like that in store.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
We've teamed up with some people. Powerwash.com. Michael Hindeleiter, his schools.
Okay.
Doing some of his classes, certifications, classes, what have you, and then the OSHA classes, things like that. We're offering, with certificates and all that. That's all part of it.
Mark, we are fucking up, dude. We need to start one of these orgs, dude.
Yeah.
We are fucking up.
You know what? I think it's great. Fuck? I think that these organizations, in their infancy, are brilliant. Okay, they grow with young businesses such as yourself, Louis, and then
it's
over
been great
time,
for me, honestly.
Yeah, but over time, they do tend to get sour without the right foundation. So, look, I think it's great. You're going to try to bring some legitimacy to an industry that's kind of not under the radar. It's a growing I think pressure washing and soft washing is growing way faster than window cleaning. I've been in window cleaning for 30 years. I haven't seen the growth in window cleaning that you would in the pressure washing, soft washing industry.
The growth's been crazy in the 2 years that I've actually been in the business for myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I don't want to fucking hey, listen.
I'm
about to say no. I was about to say something to piss all the pressure washers off. You got to have some skill to clean windows.
Say the B word. Nobody says it's SH.
So you got to have skills to clean windows. You could spray shit on anything and wash it off. You could train a fucking monkey to do that.
You know what?
You are right on that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just kidding.
Dude, I have one of my buildings I've had for 20 years. The top, it's an 18-story building. The top 1 foot on the north side that doesn't get any sun was black mold, right? And they're like, can you do that without streaking up the building? We just want that top to brighten it up. Okay. So I mix up, some of the, like what they would call a roof mix, put 2 pump sprayers out there because you're standing on an 18-story ledge, a walk around basically, and just reach over and hit it a few times, then rinse it down. I charged them $500, and it cost me $300 in clothing from people entering the building and getting specks on there. I'm like, I'm good at killing plants and ruining clothes.
I tell you this though. If you don't know what you're fucking doing, spraying that shit around, you're gonna fuck shit up.
So pay for it.
I'm only if I haven't told.
I'm only being
if I didn't say I hadn't fried a plant or two.
Right? Yeah. I'm not trying to clown or nothing like that. I'm just being honest. But
I want to say one thing, and Louis, I want your opinion on this. You're obviously more well versed in that industry. I see a lot of guys doing it, and I don't see them wearing PPE. You know, they're not wearing respirators. They wear a dust mask. Okay, I don't know. The last time I did a job where I had to spray a lot of cleaning solution, let's say, the next day my lungs were sore, and I don't smoke. You know, my lungs were sore. I was spitting shit up, and I'm like, man, you're not long for this world. You know, to go out and make money and spray that shit without proper respirator on, you're not going to be around, man. That shit is just volatile.
I actually tend to agree with you there. I don't wear it nowhere near as much as I should.
Yeah.
But if I spend a full day, say, doing a couple of roofs or something like that, where I'm spraying some good hot chemical, and I don't have any of that on, I can definitely tell the next day that I'm hurting a little bit, my nasal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just like you said. I mean, the taste of it's in your mouth for a day. It seems like, you know, it's just nasty.
Yeah, someone's not paying attention. You are, Mark, but the other dude.
So,
anyways,
right now, Louis, you're a one-man operation. You got employees. What's the name of your company?
Pro Wash Missouri is the name of my company, based here in Central Missouri. I'll throw one. TJ drove right through here not too long ago. He knows where it's at. Uranus.
Oh yeah, Uranus. He lives in Uranus,
right
bro.
next to Uranus.
Right next. Isn't that where the store was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. That's the only thing we're known for around here is that.
Was a fucking leaky anus that didn't work for some reason.
But yeah, so I own and run it. Right now, it's a one-man show. Back this past spring, I did have one hired guy that helped me out for the busy months, and then he was a college kid. I had to let him go for the winter months here, just because I'm not up to this point. You know, it's wintertime in Missouri. There's not that much work yet. So,
I have a question for you, a technical question actually.
Yeah.
The guys that I know that do what you do, when I've approached them and said, hey, you know, you told me how to mix this and it's not really popping the way it should, and they said, if you're not, it likes the sun. Is that true? If you spraying, let's say, a roof, the shady side is always going to take longer, always going to take more chem. You know, does the sun make this stuff pop?
It's the sun. It's the surface temperature of it.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, the shadier.
The warmer it is, the faster it works for sure.
Yeah. That's
where guys get in trouble, you know. A lot of new guys, and you see on these forums all the time, guys just saying, throw it on there 50-50, 50-50. Well, sometimes, colder times of the year, I would agree. Sometimes you got to throw stuff on there 50-50. But in the summertime, you never come close to that because that's a high concentrate, plus that sun and that heat. You know, on a 100-degree day down in Florida, you're going to fry everything that's around it. Everything touches.
So, I got another question for you, because around here, these guys promote soft washing as a safe roof cleaning alternative, okay? And I know y'all do a lot of shingle roofs, and they do tile roof. We have flat tile and barrel tile, okay? So when I hear someone tell me that it's a safer alternative to pressure, I'm kind of want to know this. Okay, I don't know in Kansas City if they have a lot of pool services, but everybody in Florida, except for me, has a swimming pool. So he knows where I'm going. We have a lot of companies that come service swimming pools that drive around with chemicals, especially chlorine, and not one of those trucks, unless they have a trailer behind it, is not rotted to shit. So I want someone to tell me how you spray my roof with this solution that is corrosive. Either my staples for my shingles or my tin tags, my drip edge is not being affected by that over time.
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I do. I do.
I'm not pushing you.
I don't have an answer for it.
I'm not pushing you in the corner. But when someone tells me it's a safe alternative, it makes sense that a lot of 3,000 psi, 5 gallons a minute can do damage. But I'm just wondering, the long-term effects. Now I know you spray the
Well,
bleach
see,
down.
in my area, I don't deal. The only thing I deal with is shingles. So,
Yeah.
and of course, a shingle, you're not going to put any pressure on that.
Right.
Yeah. No, you lose the granules.
Right. So my only option is to
Yeah.
use a
Well,
chemical of some sort, and it just depends
I don't
on
think
what
it's
that
going to harm
chemical
the
is.
drip edge or the gutters, and if it messes with the fasteners, that means you got to leaks anyways.
Well, yeah.
Right. It's
Because
going
the
to get.
fastener should be underneath other shingles. So
Yeah.
theoretically, they're not getting any on them.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and
I
would
heard,
think,
I heard.
any tile surface or anything like that. Like I said, I've never done it, but
Is it
like
true? Hey,
dock
Louis.
roofs around here, I do on Lake of the Ozarks, and those are aluminum roofs, and I do them. But I'm also rinsing them real good, and then I'm putting a neutralizer on it when I'm done.
Louis,
Okay.
Louis. Is it true that your employee Lauren Dickin is an awesome badass bitch? Is that true or?
Sometimes I guess. She can make some sales for me from time to
I
time.
don't know. She just commented in the.
Is
She
she
just
on tonight?
yeah. She just commented in the chat there.
Okay, I can't see comments.
Haha. Only I can. I'm in control.
Is
Chris
that
Johnson,
Laura Hagenmiller?
Hagen Miller, or Lauren Dickin, one of the two. Her name is really like it's got some innuendo in it. Dickin and Hagen
Yeah.
Miller. And
Yeah. Two variations.
two
of the same
variations
thing.
of the same thing. Chris Johnson said it's recommended by the asphalt roofing manufacturer, the association, for a 50-50. So I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think and
It
the
all depends on the
asphalt.
application, man.
Yeah, and the asphalt roofing company could be telling you that, so your fucking shingles get damaged quicker, and you have to buy a new roof. So, it's all a
Right.
fucking
Well, what I'm getting at is
conspiracy,
people
bro.
saying 50-50 for everything, man. You gotta know what your surfaces.
Make a
You
product
don't need that
in the
on.
house.
You don't need that on vinyl siding or it's endless. So
Right.
So, what are the biggest challenges you face, aside from competitors that lowball prices in the soft washing industry?
I don't have any competitors.
No,
What?
there's not a lot of guys out in Missouri.
I
doing
don't see that I had. I mean, I got people that work around me, but they're not my competitors.
Right.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. I've got two other guys here in town, and I can honestly tell you I do not know what their prices are.
Yeah. Now,
And one of them is actually on a couple of the forums that I'm on, and like Pressure Washer Motivation. I'm an admin on there, and he's on there. What have you? We talk all the time, but we've never asked each other. We don't talk about our work when together. We
So-
talk about equipment, but not
I mean,
jobs.
this is all. I mean, I like all
Pricing.
of
We
this.
respect each other that way.
This is all cool in the gang, but I want to know: have you ever taken the Bigfoot tour in the 4-wheel drive trucks, the big buses with the 4-wheel drive? Have you taken that tour down there, Lewis, or no?
No,
I mean, it's
down
right
in Branson.
Yeah, you didn't. You've never been.
No,
to that?
I have not. That's
You
only
fucking
like
suck
2
at
years
life,
old,
bro.
man.
Listen, you
They
suck
just
at life,
put that in
dude.
there like 2 years ago.
How can you
No,
live
I
that
have
close?
Not done that
you
yet.
know what?
How
Fucking
can you live
disconnected,
that
too.
close to see Bigfoots in the fucking wild and never go?
We went there and found a fucking nest, a
Yeah.
Bigfoot nest.
Big fucking nest.
TJ discovered it. I authenticated it, and you haven't been on the bus.
Never.
No, I have not been on that yet.
That's fucked
All right.
up, dude.
Cancel your first 2 morning jobs and go ride that bus, and then come back next Wednesday on the
Hey, yeah, beautiful hair.
I'll tell you how we got that Bigfoot there that you guys are talking about. That the same site where that is on the strip there in Branson, TJ, is where you remember the ducks. Remember about 3 years ago,
Yeah.
where like 20-something people died on a duck ride in Branson?
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
That
Oh,
was
yeah,
it,
that
man.
boat
So that's
that
why they
capsized.
wiped that out and they put that in there instead.
The Bigfoot
Yeah.
ride. We almost went, but it rained, man, and I was like, shit, dude. Nobody. I was
Well,
down. I was prepared. I was ready to go. I was like, let's go get fucking $2 Slickers from Walmart and go out there like a bunch of hillbillies and get down. You know what I mean? But nobody wanted to do it, so it didn't happen. My once and last time in Branson, Missouri, got screwed.
The thing you should have done while you're in Branson was the Sky Coaster.
The Sky
That
Coaster.
Yeah, it's called the Sky Coaster. It's like 3/4 of a mile long, and you loop it like 3 or 4 times, and it's all down through the hills, through the woods. I mean, you're literally dangling from the freaking treetops, cruising down through there.
So the expo, I mean, is it like a convention kind of center type deal? There's going to be booths set up, and people are going to be able to check out products.
Yes. So
I heard they're going to have some shitty water-fed poles there besides Simpole. That's what I heard.
yeah, we're going to have a few vendors there. So
Lewis is the fucking best. Lewis is playing it super straight. He's like, yeah, we're going to have some other people there.
We're gonna have Casper's gonna be there. Jay Reinstein's gonna be there. Doug Apt.
Yeah.
Who else?
It sounds like you. I mean, from the I have the. Would you like me to read the list off of people, Mark, or
yes.
Lewis? I mean, because
Yeah,
Lewis,
go ahead.
I figured Lewis would come here and at least have his shit together, but this is what I have. I've got Robert Allen, Gene O'Neill, Peter Artusa from the IWCA, our homie Peter Artusa.
Peter.
Shout out to Peter. Ryan Vidito,
yeah.
Doug Apt, Carlos Gonzalez. Man, that's pretty fucking sweet there. That's EBC's the shit.
He's fire.
EBC is the shit. So shout out to Carlos, Everett Abrams, Gary Guyman,
Mr. Wood.
Mr. Wood. Oh, is that Mr. Wood?
Yeah,
I see his videos. He's a fucking pimp.
Dude, he's talented.
Yeah, that dude is
talented.
a pimp with wood. So
yeah.
That's cool. That's so far so good. Patrick Clark, Lonnie Shook, Casper Shoring, Darren Hickman, some other dude from overseas is gonna be there from China. So that's cool. You guys know who he is.
Who's that? Oh yeah. What is he going to a pressure washer?
I don't know. Probably to sell people water-fed poles for spotless window washing finishing. That's a good add-on for pressure washers. I mean,
it is, but
you could go cheaper routes. You don't need a fucking Super Ninja Turbo Pack Elite 9000 for it or nothing. But hey, you know.
We're gonna
you can join our. Hey, you can. Hey, listen.
Pressure washers and window cleaners.
All
so
the pressure washers watching right now. If you want to join me and Mark's org, you give us $10 a month, and I will teach you how to clean windows for like $20, man. That's all it's gonna cost you, dude. I got you guys, man.
And you're not gonna have to spend 15 hondo on some equipment.
Yeah, bro, we got you, dog.
Sits out in the shed down by the river.
Down by the river.
Living in a van.
No, so it sounds like a really fucking awesome event. And not only that, Jamie Schmidt and Joseph Henry Hardy will be there. Joseph will be there. He's going to teach you how to be successful.
Hey, man, I got to give it to him, man. I wouldn't be where I'm at.
I know Joe has helped you out quite a fucking bit, man. Because that's what I told, before the show. Yeah, before the show started, we were talking about it was just in 2018, man. You were barely turning squeegees and shit. You know what I mean? You were just,
I was 3 months in when I met you in Kansas City.
And now you're just fucking doing your damn thing, man. So Joe clearly knows what he's doing, man. Clearly, So, or at least
I gotta spread the love. I mean, no. Hey, listen. Some of the right people, you being one of them.
Right.
You've helped me out a ton on the window stuff. I wouldn't have window as add-on service if it wasn't for you and your videos and this podcast. So.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is the way I look at it, and I know what you're driving at. There is no animosity between me and Mark and Joseph. We like Joseph just mad at me over some of the shit that I say, but that's fine. He can be upset with me. That's fine. That's just right. But I have nothing against Joe. I think Joe's a good dude. So, maybe one of these days he'll unblock me and we can be pals again. But until that time, I'm just gonna, whatever's whatever. I think
that if you just came out and apologized for trashing his Honda Davidson.
No way, dude. There's no way I'm ever doing that, man. No way. He's got a fucking Chevy symbol super glued and wood screwed to the side of his motorcycle, man. A bow tie screwed with deck screws. I mean, what do you want from me? I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
And all that chrome trim and tassels on a Honda, trying to make it look like a Harley.
He's
dude,
fucking
your
great,
dad,
dude.
if he pulled up next to your dad Haas at a red light,
yeah, dude.
I think your dad would just kick his shit over.
Joe,
boom.
Joe was running around outside the front of that fucking store,
what'd you do that
barefooted.
for?
Yeah, barefooted.
Yeah.
Remember that? Didn't he?
Yeah.
He was barefooted. He walked across the street. Didn't he buy a coat? He bought a hoodie.
He was walking around.
No,
in socks
he
'cause
bought
his feet hurt.
shoes. He bought shoes,
Yeah.
didn't he? I
Yeah.
think he bought shoes and a coat. He's like, I'm cold and my feet hurt. He come back with a new pair of shoes and a fucking coat on. Joe's a trip, man. He's a good guy. I just like busting his chops. You know what I mean? So.
You know what it is?
I got people like,
pitching it over the plate. You got to hit it out of the park.
What's that, Louis?
Go ahead, Louis.
I said, you know, TJ's been around where I'm from here, so I got people like, trying to think of his name right now. I think it's Mark Darnell, isn't it? Doesn't he live up in northern Missouri? Yeah. Yeah, that's
our
that dude
man,
right
dude.
there. I love his videos and the things he does.
I was gonna add him running in the hallway,
Yeah.
butt naked, because I fucking screen recorded it, and I was gonna added that. But you can kind of see a little bit of his wiener when he's juggling, when he's running. So I can't.
That
can't use
motherfucker
it.
loves to be naked. Louis, you ain't seen what me and TJ see.
Oh, dude, no.
I can only imagine.
Dude,
Yeah.
I didn't send chicken and peas to everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken and peas didn't go to everybody. That was terrible, dude. But it was funny as shit, though. I blew everybody's wig back with that one.
I still think the running one and the bowling pin when he walks out with the bowling pin. Hilarious.
Oh yeah. Well, that's cool. So it's gonna be like almost like a. Is it so? It'll kind of be like a trade show atmosphere, in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, to me, I've only been to, as far events wise, you know, well, my first thing was where I met you there in Kansas City, if you want to call that an event, you know, what, 20 of us around.
Yeah.
And then I went to a pressure washing motivation event in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
And there was probably, you know, 50, 60, you know, whatever, just a small gathering of people. And then I've been to the huge convention, and I've been to the New Jersey event that we kicked off with in September. Both those events, it was right along with the huge convention, in my opinion, as far as vendors. And I mean, there wasn't quite as many vendors as the huge by no means, but as far as speakers and classes that you could do, it's going to be the same vibe.
So, the poop shoot. Somebody, Jason Lehman said TJ's going to be lighting farts soon. Come on, man. I don't light farts. I'm going to the huge convention this year in 2020. I'm definitely going to that. Me and Mark, apparently Mark's wife's coming now. So I don't know how that happened, but now
There's a good chance
now
you'll see
Mrs.
me there
Tanner's
as well.
going to be there. Great.
There's
Mrs.
a good chance
Tanner's.
you'll see me there as well. I mean, the networking's what I want to do.
Oh yeah, that's the best part, man.
I mean, honestly, you know, I'll buy a ticket and I'll go to the classes, but I'm sleeping in and I'm getting geared up for the networking after that stuff's over.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of burned it at both ends when I went down there. I went and I went and I just went and did it. You know what I mean? I just went and did it. I stayed up as late as I could. I got up as early as I could. You know, and I tried to stretch it out, and then I had to drive home. And
I was the same way, but I didn't have the drive that you did. Thank God.
Yeah, well, dude, I drove about 6.5, 7 hours by myself with no cell phone. I got lost. On my way home, I got lost in Illinois. I got lost in fucking fucking Mark. Come on, dude.
See, that's the way I was. I took Laura in the comments there. I took her out to that event there in New Jersey with me, and we drove that straight through. That was 16 hours.
That's a fucking.
And we did this we did the same thing that we did at the Huge. You know, it was the
Right.
classes and all that stuff during the day, and then at night it was at the bar till 2:00 in the morning, and
Yep.
then
Oh, back
going to
I
bed
was
and getting back up and starting breakfast and getting ready
Yeah.
for classes at 7.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't do
Yeah.
any classes, man. I just kicked it with the peoples. I walked the trade room, the trade show floor, and and I hung out with my peers. I mean, I'm not against people taking classes. I think that's good. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. I've learned a ton, and the reason I've done a lot of the classes up to this point is I'm 2 years in, but I'm still new. I'm learning. I learn stuff from them every time I go. So
Yeah, man.
and then I can incorporate it into the business, and it helps me in the long run. So that's
Right.
why I do them by all means. But I'll say it again: the networking's where I've learned the most, and it's just that after-hour stuff, sitting there with other people that do the same thing I do, and just shooting the bull, and that's where you learn the most, in my opinion.
Do you gain entrance into the PWMCA expo if you are a member?
Yes, if you're a PWMCA member, you get into all of our expo events for free.
Okay.
So that would be, 3 to 4 of these events a year you'll get into for free. You'll also get quite a bit of swag with the membership, and then we have some people that have joined up and helped us out with some discounts on some things.
I think it's what I think is cool about that is the fact that you pay that yearly fee, you know what I mean, and you gain entrance to that. That's pretty fucking cool.
Well, for that $289,
Uh-huh.
you're getting that right back in coupons and discounts from various vendors that we've teamed up with. Southside Equipment, thepowerwash.com, Tim Field Signs Today, the Wizard of Woodbeck Restoration, Jay Reinstein. You're getting $25, $50, $75 discounts off instantly when you join there. So, I mean, you're getting your value back if you actually use it.
That's what the fuck, dude. Mark, what the fuck are you doing, man? Quit fucking being an asshole.
I had Raisin Bran yesterday, dude.
Chris
So
Johnson.
one of the other cool things that we have.
Listen, hey, no. Hold on to that thought. Someone has a really good question, and I think you need to answer. It says, I'm a new soft wash service. What's my online benefits of joining? The online benefits of joining.
Well, the online benefits, it's just, we have a private Facebook group where we drop content into it. Is pretty regular. Marketing stuff, videos of some of these events, clips of some of the boot camps, sales stuff, how to get into HOA stuff, breaking into commercial work, just different things like that.
All of the PWMCA's benefits will be available to people online. They won't have to go to your expo to be, they'll be able to get the vendor discounts and the coupons and all that shit.
They don't have to go to an expo by no means, but I mean, that's just...
So I guess he's wondering is there a good wealth of knowledge online in your group there for people to learn?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, all of these people that are speaking tonight, at this event, every one of them are on there. You got people like Peter Artusa, Casper.
So let's say,
Let's say that I just start fucking soft washing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna join the PWMCA, and I join the group, and I'm like, what does SH mean? Are they gonna get balled up on and shit on, or are they gonna get the straight answers?
No, that is not allowed. You'll be educated.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know what? I got to say something. The division in the window cleaning industry is pretty strong in certain groups, but y'all pressure washers and soft washers can throw
some
serious
heat.
shade.
Yeah, I mean some very
It gets yes, you're right, and
I
always stick to a couple of groups because of that right there.
I think the reason why guys are so cutthroat is because there's so many of you fucking guys out there spraying water and fucking bleach on shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
you know
what I mean.
That's,
get either.
There's just a shitload of guys out there, and they feel like they need to be territorial. If a guy asks what SH is, just tell him. Why? Look in the fucking notes. Look at the. If you don't want to be bothered by some dude asking a question like that, why the fuck are you in a Facebook group about pressure washing? You know somebody's going to get in there and ask that question. You know what I mean?
Right. And I ask people how they learn.
Right.
Seriously, think about it.
Yeah.
How did you learn? You reached out to somebody, you watched something,
Mm-hmm.
you figured it out.
Right.
Or you really fucked something, or excuse my language, you screwed something up and you learned the hard way. Why make somebody learn the hard way when and ruin people's property?
It's part of the PWMCA. You gotta not say fuck, because we say fuck here on the Squeegee Life podcast.
Potty mouth.
Yeah, potty mouth. That's one of the.
I
that's
got my 4-year-old right here.
Oh, so he's hearing us cuss. I'm an official administrator on the Star Trek Memory Alpha fandom site. What a fucking nerd!
That's got to be Richie Blue.
It is Richie Blue. God, he is terrible.
Oh
man.
my!
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
Does Chris Johnson wants to know if he gets those coupons in the mail?
What's that?
What's up, Seth Byers? Chris Johnson wants to know if he gets those coupons that you guys give us for joining the PWMCA. You get them in the mail?
No, actually, what we'll do, whoever ends up with them is we'll get them a link to go to the website to sign up for them, and they just put in a promo code and they'll get whatever they need right there, and it'll be on their phone, or they can print it off their computer or whatever, however they want to do it.
Well, I tell you what, man, it sounds like a pretty decent deal, man. The way you're making it sound, it sounds like
it's going to be
Mark
3 days of good stuff.
Too.
I mean, and it's actually 4 days because the first day is going to be Doug Apt is doing a full day of OSHA training. So, and then the second day and the third day is when all our other speakers will speak. And the second and third day is when we'll have all the vendors set up, and there's I don't know exactly, but there's about 15 to 20 vendors set up all together. So from power washing to window cleaning to, what have you, set up marketing stuff. So there's good variety of stuff there for that. Mm-hmm. And then another thing that we're going to try and see how it goes is we're going to set one section aside, and then I'm actually going to run that myself for this event, is kind of make our own little swapping shop. Guys that are driving in, got old equipment sitting around they don't use that they want to get rid of, try and help somebody out, whatever, somebody newer that can't afford top of the line stuff yet, but doesn't want to go buy homeowner grade stuff and buy some cheaper commercial grade equipment, the perfect place for it. So we're going to provide that and just have a little area where guys can put their stuff and set the price or whatever, and let guys browse through it. So
if you had it set up where people could call in to sell their stuff. I don't know about you, Keith, but I got some wares to sell.
Well, it's all about it's all about it's just easy if those guys they can just pick it up and take it with them, and good deal.
Wow. There'll probably be a lot of shit from China in that swap meet.
Yeah. New used.
I've got some stuff that I'm going to put in there.
Lightly used.
He said, I got some stuff I'm going to put in there. I tell you what, man, it sounds like a pretty good deal. Are they going to be doing any demonstrations? Is the master of wood going to show people how to get wood from being green to, and all that good stuff?
Well, the last day is actually all his. He has a separate class that he's doing. Mm-hmm. But yes, he'll have he's speaking, and he'll have stuff there, and he has a vendor booth there, and he has. So
you'll be able to
stuff out
you'll
there,
be able to you'll be able to see fucking Dr. Wood do his thing.
Yes.
That's
yes,
cool,
you'll
man.
pick his brain and,
that's
and
cool,
see some
man.
of his work on some slabs and
That's
yeah.
cool,
When
man.
he goes to an event, when he goes to these events, he brings out all the ropes.
That's
for
awesome,
sure.
man.
So,
That's awesome. So, I mean, to me personally, $289 a year. I mean, I know you got to pay for travel and lodging and all of that stuff, but I mean, just to see Dr. Wood do his thing, you know what I mean? Because legitimately,
you
the
get
stuff that
out
guy
of it for
does,
sure.
the stuff that guy does that I see him do, the little I do catch on the internet and stuff like that, that dude knows what he's doing. It's pretty impressive. So, I mean.
Yeah.
That
And
would
then
be
some of,
like,
the
dude.
online
Listen,
stuff
we're
you're
doing
asking
the WYMCA. Me and Mark, you pay us $288 a year, and we'll teach you some stuff too, dude. It's gonna be sweet.
Yep.
Dollar cheaper. Dollar cheaper.
Yep.
What, Joe? What?
No, I'll get Joe to represent. He'll be here. He'll be here.
Yeah, that's dude. Seriously, no bullshit. That's Carlos Gonzalez and Dr. Wood. $289 a year. You go out, you travel to Myrtle Beach, hook it up, dude. I mean, that's worth it right there.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Another good. You want another cool thing for this? They got $69.99, I think it is, for a suite oceanside in February at this hotel where the convention's at. I mean, and the ticket's only $99. So it's not like they're charging a ton to get into this if you're not.
No Bigfoot moments. Richie quit doing Bigfoot moments, so we don't have one again. So you take that up with Richie.
yeah, he's too busy sewing up back scratchers.
Yeah,
We don't like quitters.
yeah, quitter. This guy says your voice has changed, but your breath smells the same, Mark. So, I mean, do you feel like we've covered all the bases for you? I mean, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about? I mean, so if a guy wants to go, what do you think? I think they should first. Is there like a Facebook page that they can like, or somewhere they can go, like a website or something where they can prove they've been there or something like that? I mean, how do we get these tickets?
PWMCA.org is the website for the organization, and that'll have all the information about the event there in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And it'll also have information about membership and
All right.
that stuff. And then they can always reach out to me on Facebook. I'd be happy to answer any questions and what have you. And
Could you get Joe on? Can you call Joe right now?
Joe, it's almost what, 9 o'clock your time?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What?
He's been
He's
asleep
hanging
for 3
out in
hours
Boynton
now.
Beach.
He's been asleep for 3 hours now. He says.
Yeah. They're gonna kick his ass out of the local Harley store down there. Let me show you a picture of my bike.
Louis.
I don't know if I'm going to make it down there within the next few weeks or not, like I thought I was, but
Joe
next time, sometime in the next 3 to 6 months, I plan on coming down there either way because I have family in Fort Lauderdale. So.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, Joe's here now for like the next 4 to 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, he's there for about another month.
He mentioned you were coming, so he said let's get together and do some lunch. And I said, well, if Louis is coming, I'll wait till Louis comes.
I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let me know because Joe, I asked him last week. He wasn't sure when you were coming.
Yeah.
Louis, Superior Services LLC would like to know, what did you start out with? Like, what was your?
I started out pressure washing. I started out.
What kind of gear did you start out with?
I started out with a direct dry 4 gallon a minute machine. Okay. I mean, nothing special at all. I didn't know how to wash a house when I started doing this, honestly. Mm-hmm. I started out as doing dealership car lots.
Okay.
So, and it was spot-free rents on cars. Mm-hmm. No big money in it at all.
Right.
But it's enough to get me going. And then I started, I found YouTube and just started watching a ton of YouTube videos and things like that. And then started doing some of the classes and expos and DQ's convention, things like that. And it just, between meet people that I've met and stuff that I watched on YouTube, I've just figured it out. And a lot of my equipment, the first machine I got was a used machine that I bought, and everything else since then.
So
I'm kind of like Mark. I bought my own motor. I bought my own pump. I build my own equipment.
There you go. So now, when you're spraying your soft wash solution, are you using 12 volt? Are you using an air diaphragm pump? Using a Zeta pump? What exactly are we doing?
12 volt.
Do you? How long do they? I can't get them. I bought a Delavan Fat Boy because my buddy, who does soft wash, is like, oh, you got to get this Delavan Fat Boy. Move 6 gallons a minute. Shoot from the ground. And it fell apart. It didn't last. And
I've heard guys say that. My pump, I've had it for 9 months now, and I spray bleach out of it every week.
What kind of pump? The Delavan? You have the Delavan?
No, it's the North Star pump from Northern Tool.
Because
it comes with a 1-year warranty. And for like $34, you get an extended warranty on it. So
yeah,
literally, you buy one time, and every 6 months you go take it in, get a new one.
Yeah, I have a SureFlow like that. But you know what? The Delavan, which is huge, and it does move a lot of solution. And I was told, mount it with the pump down. That way, if it gets an internal leak, it doesn't leak your solution into the motor. So that's the way I did. But the weight of that pump, and I saw it's pretty common when I went online, it has like 6 stainless steel screws that hold the pump to the motor. Well, it's like 2 or 3 of them let loose, and then the force of the motor twisted it like this and sheared all the screws off flush to the pump. I paid like $400 for that pump, and it probably lasted 6 months. And now I have a SureFlow like you. We have a marine supply. You buy the SureFlow, and for $40 more, you get an extended 2-year warranty, no questions asked.
Right.
So
yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I got a store in St. Louis. It's about an hour away from me, so I just have a couple of them laying around because you never know when they're going to go out.
So
are you literally you got a screwdriver? It's a 30-second fix, and you're right back up and going again if you got one on hand.
Now, do you shoot it out of a gun? Do you use like a lot of these guys make a PVC wand with a ball valve on it?
I use a regular old Gilmore garden hose handle.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And it puts down a lot of chemicals.
Yeah. And then I've got it fittings down to where I put a J rod in it for my different tips, that I want or need. But half the time I just use the regular gun without any tips in it.
Yeah. No shit.
Well, you know what? When I bought my
that's it. I'm fucking gonna start squirting bleach on shit.
Yeah. When I bought my SureFlow, it came with this really cool adjustable nozzle gun. A trigger sprayer. And it was 100% plastic, which caught my eye because I'm like, this thing will last forever. And it's got a nozzle. You could turn it down to a stream or a fan. And I had some really dirty sidewalks. And I'm the kind that I don't want to wait to see how it's going to look when it dries. So I just use it to pre-treat. And I have a little 20-gallon tank, and I mix it up in there, 50-50 mix, throw some soap in there, and pre-treat before I surface wash or pressure clean it. And I know probably, Louis, you're laughing inside going, this guy has no idea what he's doing. But I could pretty much run with a surface washer, and I know when I'm gone. And sometimes I'll even post-treat, when I'm done. And when I go back the next day, man, it's like, it looks like there's lights on the sidewalk. It's so bright.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I think the pre and post treat is a pretty smart idea. That's what I do. I use a pump up sprayer, so I don't do it enough to warrant getting a whole rig soft wash fucking doodad going. You know what I mean? I just fucking hook up to the trailer at the shop, pull it out, squirt fucking shit down, clean it.
You know what the problem with pressure washing stuff, Louis, is? I have a buddy that, he doesn't live here anymore. He moved to Orlando, but he lived.
You're always fucking dicking with that shit, man. You're always having a wrench on that shit.
Dude, this dude spent $20,000 on a trailer.
Probably turn wrenches on it 20 hours a week.
He had, I think it was probably a 16-foot trailer. He had ladder racks built into it, put a roof over it, put his signage on it, had a 5 or 8 gallon a minute hot water machine, a cold water machine. He had that Honda powered Zeta pump, which would shoot 200 yards of chlorine. Hose reels everywhere. And he helped me out on a job that was over my head for pressure washing because I'm small time pressure washing. And he backs that trailer in there, and I'm looking over, and it's not running yet. I mean, it was 6 months old. Shit was leaking, O-rings were blowing, hose reels were. And I'm like, it doesn't matter how much you spend or how long you've had it.
Dick it with it.
It's all freaking garbage. It is. I went to a pressure cleaning place, local one here, called Blast Off. And I know the guy for I've bought 4 machines from the guy. Right? I walk in there. I need a new gun. He says to me, I said, I used to be able to buy the rebuild kits. You get the spring and the plunger and the brass valve because the gun starts to leak. It's pissing out, and then the unloader starts going off because it thinks it's time to pressure up, and the machine runs hot, right? So I walk in there. He puts the gun on. He says, we don't sell rebuild kits anymore. Here's another gun. Puts the gun on the counter. He's like, $27. And I go, I didn't ask you for the cheapest gun you have. Now, I don't use this stuff all the time, but I also don't want something that you could buy at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I'm exaggerating with that, but you know what I mean. I said, how about this? Give me a gun for $100 that I'll lose it before it wears out versus $27, and this piece of shit in a month or less is going to be in the garbage because the equipment now is maybe they have some better stuff out now, but when I was seriously buying pressure washer stuff 2 years ago, it's all freaking junk.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've got a nice gun. I want to get I want to upgrade a couple of things, but like my pressure washer hose, I go buy that shit at Home Depot. I'm gonna be honest with you. That hose they sell at Home Depot, I fuck that. I don't give a fuck because the shit wears out. And if you put it on a fucking reel, the motherfucking shit leaks all the time. It wears out. I fuck that, dude. Yeah. I just went straight coils in 5-gallon buckets. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. When it go, I throw it in the garbage. Done. Go buy another one. You know what I mean? Fuck it. I don't care. I just don't care. Yeah. I mean, it works just as fine. I mean, I gotta connect some.
That's what I was gonna say.
I gotta connect some. Yeah, I gotta connect some hoses together. But I gotta do a little extra bending over, and that ain't gonna hurt my fat ass to bend over a little bit. So, I just whatever. It works out good for me. Bigger jobs, I've got tanks I can mix shit up into, throw it on the trailer, squirt it out, done. You know what I mean? If I have a large area to do, but I keep it as minimal as possible. Like I even got a small still pressure washer that for little jobs. I don't need nothing special. I don't need nothing special. You know what I mean? Just whatever works for you. You don't need to spend 20 G's starting out. I mean, I could see if you were like John J-Lock rocking all over the Midwest, fucking cleaning Home Depots, you need some professional gear. You need to be rolling hard. You know what I mean? I get that. But if you're doing it like I am as an add-on service, hey, can you pressure wash my driveway, or can you get the mold off my house or the algae off my house? I'll be like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Can you squirt my roof? Yeah, I'll squirt your roof for you. So.
Oh, that's the way I think and feel the same way about the window cleaning.
Yeah.
When I first got my stuff, I literally spent $60 on some squeegees and mops and a bucket on a belt, and that was it. And then I met you guys and figured out water-fed stuff, and I got a 32-foot pole, a couple of Tucker brushes to throw on it, and a DI tank, and
I think window cleaning.
I can do just about anything that I want.
Window cleaning,
with that residential wise.
To do basic window cleaning, it has the lowest ROI in any service business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It pretty much. You could. I see these guys new to window cleaning, and they're like, "What do I need?" And then some fucking vultures swinging down, saying, "Okay, call your mama." Because we need 5 G's to get this pole, this filter, these brushes, this garden hose, that freaking reach hose. Yeah. Okay. When I started out with less than, like you, Louis, less than $100 and a bucket, a soy sauce bucket from behind a Chinese restaurant, I'd rather spend the money on some business cards to go talk to people and pick up work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a smart way to do it. Yeah, that's a smart way to do it. A lot of people fall into that trap.
I'll tell you the biggest mistake I made when I really got into pressure cleaning, and TJ knows the story. We had the Blockbuster video chain, and I had to have hot water. I was like, okay, I gotta have the cream of the crop if I'm gonna pull up to all these stores, and they were complaining about gum, and the best way to get gum up that I know of is hot water. So. First thing I do is I go buy what they call the hot box, which is a propane-fired burner that you put your pressure washer into. It's a cheap, economical way.
Economical, but whatever.
Economical, way
splitting
to
hairs.
make your So, dude, I buy this thing. They ship it to me from Northern Tool. I think I bought it, and it shows up. I put it together, put it on the trailer, bolt it down. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, oh. All right, let me look at the manual. I'm a typical guy. I don't like to read instructions, you know?
Right.
Dude, it has a push button igniter like on an old school barbecue grill that you go tink, right? So we pull up to a Blockbuster. I got it. I did run it at the house. I knew everything was working. Hook the propane up, pull up to a Blockbuster, push the button, nothing. Push the button, nothing. Push the button, nothing. One of my guys drops a match in that bitch, and it took his eyebrows and in front of his hair. Whoa, whoa. That's it. This thing's got to go, right?
Yeah.
So I found a buddy of mine selling a 2-year-old Hydrotech machine, which had a 16 horsepower Vanguard, 12-volt burner, Beckett burner.
Uh-huh.
And I thought I was the king shit coming around with this hot water machine. Well, let me tell you something. It was blowing hoses off. It was pushing soot out because the battery wouldn't charge enough. And people were burning themselves. You're burning yourselves, taking the hoses off. I'm like, that's it.
Dude, I fucking, speaking of the burner, I got my cousin rebuild I think it's like a 4.5 gallon a minute machine. It's one of those Mighty M's. It's everything on one cart, kerosene burner on it. And we were doing this McDonald's like last year, and we're around I've got 150 foot of hose stretched out. I'm getting down. It's hot as shit. Steam everywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking, I got Jeremy's, making sure keep my hose out so I can move quick. He's So we're knocking this drive-through out, and I turn, this lady's like fucking waving at me. She's like, "Oh my god!" We go around. There's fucking 5-foot flames shooting out of the burner box. My ladder is starting to glow. It was fucking bad, bro.
It was a 40, now it's a 28.
Covered in soot, dude. It's always something, dude. I think every time, and that machine completely rebuilt. It only been used 2 times before, and it almost melted down. It's a pain in the dick, those things.
Well, I'll tell you what happened with mine. I bought the Hydrotech. I heard it was great. You don't want to work on it because they compact the machine. In order to change the belt or to tighten the belt, you got to lift the machine and get underneath it, right? So my machine, I run it for 8 hours. I had a car battery, literally an automotive battery in it. I run it for 8 hours, and it would start to smoke, like you said, billowing smoke. And then the burner assembly would clog from soot. So I take it to Hydrotech. We have a Hydrotech distributor here. I bring it down to him. He cleans it out. He does all the shit. He said, "You're good to go. Make sure the battery's fully charged." I charge the battery. I take it out. 6 hours, same thing. I take it. I'm handy, but I'm like just done with this thing. So I take it to a small engine guy. He calls me up. He goes, "You got to come down here." So I go down there. The one I had, 16 horsepower Vanguard Briggs, 12-volt burner, and when he looked into it, the burner took like 14 amps, and the engine only put out 12 amps. So what would happen is it would drop below 12 volts. It would it wouldn't ignite the flame, and it was just spraying raw diesel into itself. He goes, "The problem is, this machine does not produce enough. This engine doesn't produce enough electricity. That's why it works for 6 to 8 hours, because you charge the battery, right? It will not recharge this battery with that burner running." So he takes the motor apart. He puts a bigger flywheel, a bigger magneto in it to bump it. So at that point, if it used, let's just say 14 amps, he was able to get a flywheel that would produce like 16 amps, but it was still a piece of shit. It would work. But then if I shut it off, it would be a dead battery. I had to put a jumper box on it. I'm like, I spent all this money on this thing. And the bottom line, it was not engineered properly. If it would have had the Honda motor or the Kohler, they have like a 20 amp charging system.
Yeah.
But this was sold exactly like this from Hydrotech. At that point, dude, I didn't even sell it. I scrapped it. I got rid of it. I bought 2 cold water machines that I could link together and get 8 gallons a minute out of them, 2 4-gallon machines. I put hoses and ball valves, and I can run 8 gallons a minute at 3,000 PSI, and that's all I want. If one machine breaks down, I shut the valve down, I use the other. Done.
Mark's the baddest man on the planet, in case you guys were wondering.
I'm just a man that wasted a lot of money on shit.
So you have 2 independent machines.
Trust me, I've wasted a lot of money on buying junk in the last
you have
2 years.
2 independent machines. They have to be the
You
same
daisy
PSI.
chain them together, huh?
What you do is they don't have to be the identical machine, but you've got to set the pressures the same, or else they'll fight. And I'm sure there's guys out there cringing right now going, "You can't do that." Yes, you can. You put a gauge on each one. You get them to exactly the same pressure within 50 pounds because the gauge is only going to be so accurate. You put a pigtail, up 2 short hoses into a junction with ball valves on each side. You start them up with water going through both, all the valves open, and it won't boost the pressure. If you're 3,000 psi in each machine, you're still at 3,000, but you've gone from 4 or 4.5 to 9 or 8 gallons per minute.
Yeah.
The best way, because guess what? You could buy 2 of those machines for $1,500 a piece. Gear drives, you know, not belt drive and all that electric start bullshit. Because that shit's just too heavy to pick up in the pickup truck. When you got my age, you know what I'm saying? But and you know what? Direct drive for me, because I'm going to keep it.
How sure are you? How sure are you? You're getting that many GPMs,
dude?
How do you know?
You can tell. You can tell. You can tell. I've never put it in a bucket and timed it, but it makes sense. Okay,
right.
And the guy at the pressure washer store, he told me it'll work, but it's not a good idea. And I go, well, it's my idea. I didn't come up with this. I'm sure it'll work, and it works just fine. It works. It takes 2 small machines, makes them do one. And like I said, if one breaks down, one blows O-ring, one pump starts pulsating, you shut that one off and just run the other one, and you still finish your day. Right. And like I said, $1,500. Sorry, Louis.
Kits now.
Yeah, they sell kits for that. Yeah, I mean for you know, $1,200-$1,500, you buy a direct drive Honda 13 horse with a general pump or whatever you prefer, 4.5 gallon a minute, make 9. Okay, rather than spending what $4,500 on a small skid that's a 20 or 22 horse that moves 8 or 9 gallons a minute. It's the same thing, because that machine's gonna, those big pressure washers.
You gotta tell me nothing.
Them things shake the buildings when they run.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice. Yeah. It's nice on an aluminum skid, but you know what? For my business, I can carry it to a rooftop. I can throw it in the back of a truck. I can give it to one of my guys. Go pressure clean this. Don't need to drag a trailer around.
Right.
Both my machines are portable.
Yeah.
I wheel them in and out, pick up every night. You know, this time of year they're getting wheeled out of the back of the pickup and into the house.
Into the house. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So.
There's
a way to do everything, man.
Miles from the house, and I don't like driving to the shop every day.
Yeah,
so.
there's a way to do everything. There's not just one way to skin a cat, man. So
the only bad thing about a portable machine is, like a buddy of mine, my buddy Jim, dude, this guy's an animal. You know, he works out like more hours than he actually works. He went to the grocery store, had his machine sit in the bed of the pickup truck. They backed right up to the pickup truck. The gate was locked. Didn't matter. They climbed in the back of their truck to his truck, lifted the machine out, and drove right away with it.
Now, how do you get water to those 2 machines? Where do you pull your water from?
You can either actually plumb it into a tank, or get you know, what's that, 3/4 garden hose, and it'll keep up with it. You know, it'll, as long as you got good water pressure, it'll keep up. Or you can set up a float tank where you're drawing. I personally like.
You run 2 hoses. You run 2 hoses to.
You can run 2 hoses, but
from 2 separate water sources.
Outlets.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you're running 1 hose to 2 machines.
Yeah, you split
and it's
the
keeping
one
up.
hose. Right. Yeah.
It's keeping up. It will.
As long whoa. I'm not talking about at someone's house. I'm talking about a commercial property that has pumps on the building. Okay. You know, because like average home water is probably 45 psi, but a building is probably 60. So yeah, I wouldn't suggest you plug it into Grandma Newsbaum's freaking well system. She ain't gonna be able to take a bath or brush her teeth.
What do you mean? She don't need no fucking water.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you believe in Bigfoot, dude? I gotta know. Because. Do you?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe in
better,
Bigfoot.
Dude. You fucking better, man.
Bigfoot's down in Branson, man.
I don't say it's either
you
that.
You gotta go hop on a truck and you go find him.
It's either that or you got to get off the show. If you don't believe in Bigfoot, you got to go.
That's right.
Bigfoot's here, man. He's in Branson. You just got to hop on a truck and they go show you Bigfoot.
Good answer. Those two many with those 2 machines, how many gallon float if direct drive tank?
How many gallon float? If you probably get a the bigger the tank, the less downtime you're going to have. But when you start to add a tank, you got to plumb the machines back to the tank, so when they cycle, they put the water back in the tank so the water's always flowing, or else most machines don't have vacuum enough. They don't like to be gravity fed, you know, so you got to return the hose out of the one of the hoses out of the what do they call that? What's that adjustable thing? The unloader into the tank. But a buffer tank, you could go with the 20-gallon, because even if you're only pumping 5 gallons a minute out of a garden hose, if you got 20 gallons, you could probably run half hour, 45 minutes. You take a break, let it fill up, and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
but you're not drawing that much more than you can put in the tank.
Well, one of my machines, I've got it set up. You know, I'm a hillbilly redneck from down here in the mountains, of, Ozark Mountains in Missouri, by all means. So I built just a freaking 2x4 and plywood skid. And in the summer, 4 months, I'll take the wheels off of my machine, and I just bolt it down to that skid in the back of the truck, and I got my hose reels and my soft wash set up, and it's ready, ready to go. But this time of year, all I had to do is slap the wheels back on it, pulled that skid out, put it in the shed, and I just go back to doing it the more time-consuming way and the non-lazy man way, and roll hoses and the whole 9 yards. Which, it sucks. I hate it. Once you get used to reels and things like that, you turn into
a man, I got my first set. I bought Summit reels. I mounted them with that Hydrotech, and I'm like I said, it's nice. You get up, you pull the hose out, but when those things start leaking out of the swivel, it's just a nightmare. And they will leak. I know Titan makes some really nice stainless reels and stuff, but I mean, it gets expensive.
Well, I don't actually put water or chemical through the reels. The reels are just there for storage.
Yeah.
I got the quick connects where it just comes off, and it's real quick and easy. So.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
100-gallon would be good with float trailer build. Chris Johnson asking all the questions. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only can Mark knots, he can't spell either.
I'm using my finger. I got, look, I got a high-tech system set up.
I run a 5.5 gallon a minute and a 4 gallon a minute. I don't always run them both at the same time, but they're both set up. They're both plumbed into a 35 gallon tank.
And you probably don't have to stop very often.
And I don't have to stop unless I'm using both machines doing some concrete or something. And really,
the only thing I'm gonna tell you is, now see, I'm the kind of guy that I have a little toolbox, a divider box, and I've got all my white tips in one bin, the red tips, the green tips, the yellow tips, and then I'll sort them out I have tips all the way up to 10 gallons a minute. Now, I'll take a 10-gallon a minute tip and put it on a 3,500 PSI machine. I love to rinse with that. You know what I'm saying? It drops the pressure. It doesn't increase the flow. You might think it does, but it gives you that quick rinse, because the ball valves, those ball valves, you use them to rinse, they just don't last. They start to leak. They didn't shut off all the way. It's always that issue. But, I only thing you got to do is make sure your surface washer, is set up with the right tips in it, because if you're going to link the machines, you need different tips. If not, you're going to spike the pressure through the roof and kill the pump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark's super smart. You guys thought it was just Windows. It's also other stuff.
No. Look, there's a lot about pressure cleaning I don't know, but on the equipment side of it, I've owned a lot of it, so I know.
That was a 6-second banger right there. You guys missed it. That was a good one.
It was a crying fart.
I should have put the microphone down there, but...
Hey, listen, before I forget, I got a joke, right? We don't normally do jokes, but I heard this one a long time ago, and it came back to me when I saw this old lady that had all this surgery on her face trying to make her look younger. So anyway, older woman goes to the doctor and says, hey, is it possible you make me look 30 or 40 years younger? And he says, well, we have some new surgery. He says, it is experimental, but I'm the only doctor that does it. If you're interested, come down for a consultation. She goes down there. She talks to him, right? She's like, go ahead and do it. So she wakes up from surgery. She looks in the mirror. She looks 40 years younger. And he says to her, now listen, this is very different surgery. In the back of your head, put your hand back there. You feel that knob back there? And she goes, yep. And he goes, you start to sag a little bit. 1/4 turn of that knob will pull you tight again. So she says, oh, great. So he goes, come back in 6 months, let me know how it's working. 3 months later, she calls him. She's like, I got to come see you. He says, what's the problem? She goes, you got to see this. So she walks in there, and he says, oh, my God, what is that? And he's looking at her, and he says, I told you only a 1/4 turn. Every couple of days as you start to sag. She goes, what are these bags under my eyes? He goes, those are your tits. And he goes, and if you keep cranking on that shit, you're going to have a beard.
Mark, that was the worst fucking joke you ever told your whole life. No, it wasn't. So, Louis, is there? I mean, I don't want to. I mean, you can stay and hang out if you want. I know we're an hour deep. You said before you didn't know how long you were going to stay. Do you want to? You're more than welcome to stick it out with us, or you could take off if you want to close out. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter to us.
Yeah, I got 10, 15 more minutes.
Okay.
I probably ought to get off here in a little bit and get the kid to bed so he ain't running around all day night long. But
so, well, if you got about, what we'll do is we'll let you. Where can people go again to sign up for the PWMCA? Where do they go? PWMCA.org.
That's it. Yes, PWMCA.org, and for they'll just click on events, and I believe it's click on events, and then it'll go to a page to where they can register. Just get with me through your, they can get to me or you, whichever.
Yeah.
And as long as they know that they'll actually go for sure, whatever, we'll get them hooked up.
Yeah.
And,
if there's anyone
give
listening,
them a promo code, and they can print out their own ticket, and it'll be good to go.
Yeah. So if there's anyone listening right now, listen to the podcast.
Let's see. I think we got 4 available, probably.
Yeah. So if there's, if there's anyone out there that would like to go to the PWMCA Expo in Myrtle Beach, February. What is it, Louis?
20th through 23rd.
20th through 23rd. If you're listening right now, get a hold of Louis if you know you're going, and Louis will set you up with a couple of tickets, and he'll you guys will get to go down there and hang out and watch Joe teach you how to be successful.
All kinds of people.
All kinds of people.
Yep.
And I'll read the list off again. That way everybody knows.
So, how many people are in the organization, Louis? How many members?
Like I said, we just kicked off in September, and I honestly, I'm not part of that deal as far as knowing how many members are in right now. I don't have that right in front of me, but we're not huge by no means, but we're getting steady growth. I think within the first 30 days we had 30, 40 members already, and it's these events are going to slowly get more people in and what have you. So we're just trying to get the word out there more than anything right now. It's one of the things that'll take time to grow, but we have a vision that we think we can do it, and we're just going to stick to the vision and try and grow it. Try and grow.
Right. That's the PWMCA Expo in Myrtle Beach, February 20th through the 23rd at the Landmark Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And they're going to have Robert Allen, some dude from China, Perry Tate, is going to be there. Fuck me. Gene O'Neill, Peter Artusa from the IWCA. He's awesome as shit.
Good people, yeah.
Greenway Pressure Washing says right under 100 members right now in the PWMCA. Ryan Fidito, Everett Abrams, Carlos Gonzalez, Mr. EBC. That motherfucker's a straight G. Doug Apt, he's another good guy. Darren Hickman, Casper Shoring, Lonnie Shook, Patrick Clark, Gary.
I'm kind of thinking of going just to see Casper and Perry in the same room at the same time.
And of course, Everett Abrams, Dr. Wood.
Wouldn't that be funny if Perry showed up in a mask like a wrestler?
Yeah, you can't.
Skid mark.
Yeah, you can't. You can't beat that. Can't beat that lineup. That's a really good lineup. It's a really good lineup of people, man. So if you guys are interested in that, get a hold of Louis if you'd like to go. He's got a few tickets available, courtesy
we have a lot
of
great vendors there as well. So if you need equipment,
there's going to be all kinds of stuff there for you guys. It should be
great vendors.
And Louis will be there. Jamie Schmidt will be there, and Joseph Henry Hardy will be there. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of talent in that room, minus one. But everyone else is going to be real smart and have some cool shit to teach you guys. So, if anyone is interested, you should take advantage of this, especially if you're learning.
Aforementioned people,
you
should gravitate towards them minus one because he's a pretender.
Right. Jamie Schmidt has been around a really, really long time doing his thing. I mean, Carlos Gonzalez. I mean, there's some heavy hitters in there, man. You're going to learn something. So, and for $289 a year and still being able and not getting charged to go to the expo is pretty fucking cool, man. You know, and you're like Louis said, you're going to get some coupons with some vendors that they work with. What is it, Power Wash store or no? What is it?
There's a list of them. It's Southside Equipment,
Southside Equipment,
Kentucky, Power Wash store. Gary Guyman has Savo online marketing, and he'll do analysts on your website and things like that.
So you got there's all facets of the pressure washing and soft washing business, from the marketing down to the nuts and bolts cleaning. You're going to be able to learn that stuff there. So I mean, that's not a bad gig, guys. So go check it out. Louis, thank you for coming on, and thank you for the PWMCA for allowing us to give away a couple of tickets for you, and allowing Louis to come on here and allowing us to say your name out loud. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, and hey, Louis,
thank you guys.
In closing, Louis, if you do make your way down south, hit me up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll definitely get a hold of you. We're going out to dinner or something, lunch, something one night.
Absolutely.
I'll out there for sure if I do come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got it, man.
Awesome. And hopefully we'll get to see it. If not, hopefully we'll get to see it at the huge convention in 2020, yeah? That'll be fucking Radmobile, bro. So
that, or if you guys ever get together, if it's something besides the huge, we
got something. I'm gonna start an org now. Fuck it, it's gonna be great.
Some kind of org.
I mean, shit. You know what I mean? Why not, bro? No, but seriously, man, it was nice to have you on, and we hope maybe this gets the word out to some people that maybe it wouldn't have gotten out to. We get a bunch of downloads, so maybe someone will catch it on iTunes or Podbean or something like that, and get a hold of you if they want to go. And
that's a good deal, man.
Yeah, man.
Just get a hold of me. We got a few when we run out. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, thanks again, and thanks for everything you've done for all of us.
No problem, man.
Podcast, page, and everything.
Yeah, no problem, man. You know us. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we don't mind helping a feller out if he needs some help. You know what I mean? So, that's
throwing
the name
a little
of the game.
education out.
Yeah,
there,
a little education. We don't mind that. You know what I mean? So, thanks for coming on, Bo. We'll see you later.
No problem, guys.
Yeah.
We'll talk at you later.
Take it easy.
Thanks again.
Yep, no problem, man.
Bye-bye.
That's interesting. What?
I tell you, I really feel like you can't really go wrong with that. You know what I mean? You can't. If that's $289 a year.
Yeah.
That's not too bad, especially if you are getting that kind of education. I don't know if that'll be there every year, but it's going to be there this year, and you guys can join up and go down there and hang out with some industry leaders and learn some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would personally be wary of some of the equipment that's being sold there. You know what I mean? It might leak. There's a good chance there might be 12 different versions.
Yeah,
when you buy the new one.
What one doesn't realize is pressure cleaners run higher than 12 psi.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna. It sounds like a really good event, man. It really does, and it sounds like as long as they can keep it like on the down, because a lot of those orgs, I've seen some. It's always some shit going on. So it sounds like this one is being done properly. I mean, just the fact that you pay that once a year and get access to that training at that expo, that might be one of the better deals in the industry right there, to be quite honest. And I'm not just saying that just to say it. I mean, honestly, if you think about it.
Standard window cleaning, either you know how to do it efficiently, you know how to do it well, but for the most part, unless you grab scrapers or the wrong chemicals, it's not hard to fuck things up, but you put it this way, in pressure washing, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to hurt yourself or fuck shit up.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So those are guys that can point you in the direction of a safe way, benefit from their experiences and their mistakes. Like, I told you about my hot water machine because it was a mistake. It was an expensive mistake.
I can tell you just from my personal experience,
just getting to the point where you're putting the right amount of chemical on the ground and using the right chemical for the right situation, that was something that took a lot of learning. So just like with the Dr. Wood guy, if you can go down there and learn how to treat a fence or a deck the way that he does, good Lord. And have you ever seen Carlos Gonzalez do any work on gas stations or anything with that EBC? It's absolutely unbelievable. So just getting that knowledge just those two guys alone, I don't really know. And getting to hang out with Peter Artus is not a bad deal either. That's not a bad gig. But just those two guys alone, and I'm not, I don't know everyone on that list there, but I know those two guys because, I've gleaned some of the things off of them, that I've gotten off the internet. Those are really smart guys. They know their shit. You're going to learn some things down there. That's pretty cool. It's clearly an educational event. It doesn't seem like it's something where they're trying to sell you a bunch of shit. So at least that's the way it sounds. I'm interested to hear some feedback on it. And me and Chris are talking about going. So that ought to be fucking awesome. But yeah, man, I think it's a good thing, man. It sounds like a good deal. So, I appreciate those guys coming on and, I think you can't go wrong if you go down there. $289 for a whole year to join this thing. You've got yourself some discounts. You got yourself some learning tools on the internet, a group where you can ask these gentlemen questions, and you can go to this expo for free and learn some shit hands-on with the guys.
Well, look,
Seth Byers said that his brother's going, so that's cool as shit. So there's going to be some people there that Seth's brother's going to. They're probably going. Who knows what he's going to learn while he's down there? Take it to the next level, because you're going to have some opportunities to learn some things. It sounds like to me. So me personally, just those two guys I've mentioned a couple of times, that would make me want to go, just those two guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if you can extract some knowledge from them, that betters your business. And another thing is, it seems to me, and I could be wrong, that things are moving away from hot water and going to chemical clean. So chemicals aren't something you need to mess with unless you know what you're doing. Mixing chemicals, how much to use, if you're wasting it, if you're not putting in enough, using it in the right situation. You can get all that education there, I would assume, on what chemicals to use that are going to fix certain issues, because not everything works everywhere.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Do you have your weird news clip ready? Or,
oh yeah.
Because I got one too.
All right. Let me go through mine, and then you can go through yours. Okay. Ferdinand Beach, Florida. Deputies say a Florida couple arrested on suspicion of cycling under the influence on Friday the 13th did not let them stop them from having sex in the back of a patrol car. This bizarre episode unfolded 11:40 p.m. that night in Ferdinand Beach. According to their arrest reports, a Nassau County deputy stopped the couple after they were nearly struck by a car they cut off while crossing South Fletcher Avenue. Smelling alcohol, the deputy placed both under arrest. Things took a sordid turn when the arresting deputy noticed the couple had shed their clothes and were starting to have sex in the back of his patrol car. When deputies opened the door to
sounds like a good time.
This is where it gets good. The naked man knocked a deputy to the ground and took off running into the night. That might be, what's his name? Mark Darnell.
Yeah.
Deputy said the woman, 35-year-old Megan Lynn Mondanero, grew violent with deputies while they transferred her to a separate vehicle. She was taken down and later checked out at the hospital. Her blood alcohol content was 0.06 when she took the breathalyzer 3 hours later, deputies said. The man, 31-year-old Aaron Seth Thomas, was later taken into custody after deputies caught him at a nearby Cold Stone Creamery. Must have been cold as hell. Deputies said Thomas' blood alcohol content was 0.145, which is nearly twice the legal limit in Florida.
Fucking amateur.
Both Thomas and Mondanero were booked into the Nassau County Jail on on several charges, including resisting with violence, unnatural and lascivious act, exposure of sexual organs, and driving under the influence. As of Monday, both remained in custody.
I feel
Now-
like what?
Now,
ahead.
let me ask you something.
What?
So you're a police officer.
Yeah.
And you pull up on this, right?
Yeah.
And the guy jumps out and knocks you to the ground. Here's the $1,000,000 question.
Right.
Do you chase him and tackle him?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I'd chase him down and grab him by his fucking ball sack. He ain't going nowhere. You grab a hold of his fucking balls, he's going to drop to the ground. You're going to be able to subdue him. It's not going to be a struggle. You know it. It's just as well as I do. You're getting chased down and some dude grabs your junk. You're stopping. You're stopping. You're done. I feel like mine's not as good as yours, dude. I got mine from Vice.com. It's entitled "Please do not poop in a sacred temple at Machu Picchu." 6 tourists were arrested after authorities found feces inside the UNESCO World Heritage Site's Temple of the Sun. Here's a scenario for you. You've made the long, difficult journey to Machu Picchu, taking a variety of planes and trains and buses to get there. And now you're finally inside the grounds. You begin to explore the more than 500-year-old site, marveling at its ancient, towering rock spires, its surreal terraces and ramps. Life is sweet. The world is bountiful and mysterious. Your day couldn't get any better, but at some point you hit with a terrible, inescapable feeling you have to poop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, dude, you got to poop. So you've got two options: either hike back down to the entrance and find a bathroom, putting an end to your time there, or sneak into a sacred temple constructed half a millennia ago, drop trowel, and to face one of the greatest marvels this world has ever known. Dude, this is crazy. If you choose shit inside the hallowed grounds of an Incan worshiping room, congratulations. There's something deeply, irredeemably wrong with you.
You're going to hell.
Yeah, dude,
You're going
come
to
on,
hell.
man. For some inexplicable reason, that's exactly what a group of tourists allegedly did over the weekend. 6 people in their 20s and early 30s were arrested Sunday after Peruvian authorities caught them in a restricted area of Machu Picchu's Temple of the Sun, a revered part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Park rangers and police found feces inside of the temple, which had been damaged after a piece of stone had broken off a wall, caused a crack in the floor. I mean, their shit stank so bad it broke walls and shit. Regional Chief Police Wilbert Lavea told Indiana, a local news agency, the 6 tourists are being detained by and investigated by the public ministry for alleged crime against cultural heritage. It's so fucking funny, dude. It seems like something that should go without saying, but apparently we don't have to say it. Do not do this. Just go find a goddamn bathroom. Here's a helpful rule: if you're ever struck by the urge to do anything remotely untoward at a one-of-a-kind historical site, like, say, boning on top of an ancient pyramid or taking a butt selfie in front of a Buddhist temple, just don't do it. You'll thank yourself later when you're done spending time the evening guilt-free in a plush hotel instead of languishing in a jail cell in a foreign country, racked by unbearable shame of having literally took a dump on history. I think that's fucking hilarious, man.
That's
That's
sacrilegious.
Dude.
Hello.
Hey now.
I
I
got
don't
one
know.
more quick one.
What's that?
One more news of the weird. 13. These are. I happened to stumble upon this site that has Florida stuff, so
Yeah.
13 men arrested for masturbating inside Pleasure Emporium in Hollywood, police say. Two men also seen performing oral sex on each other, according to the arrest report. Hollywood, Florida. Hollywood police arrested 13 people Wednesday for masturbating inside the Pleasure Emporium while viewing pornographic videos. The men face charges of indecent exposure in public. 2 men, Jose Rodriguez, 50, and Gerson Vergara, 34, also faces charges of committing a sex act in public. According to Hollywood police, an anonymous complaint was received regarding lewd behavior occurring inside the Pleasure Emporium at 1301 Southwest 30th Avenue. An arrest report stated 2 undercover detectives went into the business Wednesday, purchased tickets to enter the adult video rooms for $25. Police said the detectives saw multiple cubicle-style stalls with numbers clearly displayed from above. As the detectives were walking to their stall, they witnessed Rodriguez and Vergara masturbating before the men took turns performing oral sex on each other. The
What
arrest,
the fuck,
arrest
dude?
report stated. Authorities said the other men were seen by detectives masturbating inside the business. Below is a list of the arrested suspects.
Where? I mean, you got to tell me where. First of all, where do you find shit like that? Because that's absolutely awful. I mean,
Not only that, imagine having to mop the floors in that place.
dude,
Oh, shit.
dude, I just don't understand, man. And just the fact that you decided to find that. I mean, you got to ask yourself, what about Mark's his search history? You got to ask yourself.
Yeah, if,
You know, you gotta
if
ask-
the
you
police
gotta
ever
ask
took
your-
my computer, I'd be in big trouble. What I'm searching for here.
Oh my god, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude. Twist that dick! Twist this dick!
I love that guy. I love that video.
Oh my god. Oh, dick twist!
The old dick twist.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Everybody does 19 videos a day and still finds the time to wash some windows. Old Joe needs to find some time to interview his old friend Morgan Freeman. I've climbed through 500 yards of shit-smelling foul one time. That's the length of 5 football fields, just shy of half a mile to clean a window. Maybe Joe just
Does
doesn't
Morgan
understand.
Freeman happen to drive a fucking giant truck with fucking huge knobby tires on it?
Baba boy.
Jesus Christ. That's the absolute worst recording I've ever heard in my life, Mark. Worst. I mean, you got to work on your audio skills.
Yeah, what can I say? It's old.
Yeah, well, you're old, so we have that going for us.
Feeling old. So guess what, T?
What?
I'm coming to Ohio February 4th.
Yeah!
We are going to party.
We're going to party. We're doing nothing but shrooms and coke off each other's wieners. It's
Yeah.
going to be sweet.
I don't know about all that, but I'll tell you what, we're going to have a good time. We're gonna do some barbecue.
No, we're not
We're
going to do any of that. We're not. Mark is so full of shit. He's
We
going to
literally have none of that.
We're literally going to do
Shit
none
with
of that.
the door open.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do the Richie Blue and shit with the door open.
Oh, God. Flashback.
Yeah,
Sorry.
dude, who does that, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I mean, you know just as well as I do, we're going to be working. Because I have a feeling that's going to be a shit show.
I got a good feeling it's going to be a
It's
shit
going to
show.
be a shit
too.
show. You got, like, all these plans. Mark's like, you know what? We're going to do the podcast at your house in the same room. It's going to be so dope. And it's never going to happen.
These are just suggestions.
These are
you
just
know, if we pull it off.
suggestions.
If we
Yeah.
can pull off half of what I said, we'll have a good time.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
The work part. That's all we're going to pull off. As long as we get the work done, it's going to be
Yeah.
a great time.
Like I said, I want to come work with you for a day, some route jobs. I really don't want to do houses, but you got some
I don't
McDonald's
have
or
I
some,
don't have any houses this time of year,
yeah,
so you're safe.
yeah, do some route jobs together. It'd be cool just to hang,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and do that. You know, I'm looking
So I get
forward to it.
critiqued on my window cleaning skills.
I'm
I
not
know
gonna
that's oh
critique you.
whatever. I know that's what's going to happen.
I'll just get back in the truck while you're still
This
squeezing
cocksucker is going to be inside doing all the insides because he ain't going to be able to handle the outsides.
Yeah,
and there's no point.
I gotta say, you got
There's
me
no
there.
point in us both being on the inside or both. I mean, we're going to do this like men, and I'm going to let him be the bitch and clean the insides. Fuck.
Go
Pussy.
deal with the customer.
Pussy.
Yeah. She goes, someone comes out, you weren't here last night. He points to me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait, hang on a minute.
You didn't.
Oh, God.
You showed up in the parking lot and didn't come in.
Yeah, exactly.
You and Duffy can eat my shit. Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Listen,
Yeah.
you know what, dude? I think that job is going to be interesting. I'm actually looking forward, and you're going to allow me to release some of that stuff on YouTube, right? I'm going to be able
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are actually going to get.
Well, I want you to film everything, and then we'll go through the footage and what we can put
Well,
out.
I want to
and put
make
out.
sure. Yeah, I want to make sure we get stuff that people could see, and then stuff you can use later for demonstration
Absolutely.
purposes.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, me and Mark's gonna come up here, and he's gonna do some restoration, and you guys are gonna get to see some of it, all of it eventually. All of it you'll see, but
Yep.
some of it you'll see. We're gonna be shooting a bunch of video, so
Yeah.
that ought to be interesting.
It's a huge benefit for me having you there with all your gear, because I'm not a recording guy. I'm
Are you sure this is that gonna be allowed?
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's already set.
Okay,
You know,
all right.
it's taken care of.
Right.
So, no, we'll be good. We'll be good.
I'm
It'll be
dude.
fun.
I'm super stoked for. I mean, I know I'll get to see you, which is getting to be a habit now. But
Yeah, right?
It's like hanging out with my relatives now.
I know.
Speaking of my relatives, I talked to Aunt Tammy yesterday, and I tried to get permission to show her on the stripper pole in the party bus, and she still won't give it to me.
Really?
She still won't give me
Come on.
permission. Yeah, she still won't give me permission. I'm thinking about just squeaking it in one of these times, and just like a
subliminally.
maybe I'll do it on the Patreon page where only the patrons could see Aunt Tammy on the
There you
pole.
go.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. She wasn't like in any. She wasn't scantily clad. She was just dancing. So don't get your
No
hopes
doubt.
up, everybody. But I'm looking forward to the learning experience. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah, and you know what, T? When we're there, we're gonna go. I want to see that Chick-fil-A that you sent me pictures of.
Definitely gonna take you to Chick-fil-A. Yeah. That's definitely gonna happen.
Check that out.
I don't know if they're getting fixed or not, Jason. I've told them about them. You know what I mean? But I'd like to. I'm definitely gonna take Mark over. Maybe we'll be able to get maybe grab lunch or a late dinner there or something one day, or whatever. We'll get over there and have a look. But I'd like to make it.
What I would like to do, honestly, T, if you can set this up, find an exterior scratch that's really bad. Not in a drive-through. Because Chick-fil-A, you ain't getting near the drive-thru at any time. And tell them, my guy's coming up. He's going to do something similar in another area. He'll give you a free sample. Pick a scratch that you want on. No charge.
Dude, there's not
Maybe
going to be.
lunch.
I'm telling you, that's, dude. When you see these, you'll see what I'm saying. That's not going to make a difference. It's gonna. What I'm saying is if you take, you're not going to be able to just get one out. If you're getting one, it's probably going to be two. I mean, dude, they're bad.
Yeah.
When you see it.
Yeah.
You might be like, oh, well, that's this. And I'd be like, oh, I'm a dummy. But, dude, they're fucked. They're fucked.
Yeah.
It's not like a scratch here. It's like the whole, from top to bottom, has lines this far, spaced this far apart on the entire length, top and bottom sash of glass. It's unbelievable, dude. It's
generally, if there's a concentration, I'll group them all together as one repair, like a 2-foot area. But beyond that, when it starts to become the entire window, at that point, it's it's just so consuming.
Well, Jason, Jason's like he said, just as long as you didn't get blamed for it, that's what matters. Well, see, that's the difference between me and all these dudes that get on pro window cleaning that just started cleaning windows 2 days ago. When I walked in there, the first thing I did before, because it's a new restaurant, the first thing I did before I put my tools on was I walked around and I had a look at the windows before I did anything, because I was there to clean the windows. And the first thing I thought was, I better look at these before I touch them. And that's what I do on every new property that I take over when I start cleaning windows, especially if it's new construction. I always make sure I go look at everything, and then I go talk to whomever I need to talk to let them know, hey, every piece of glass on this brand new restaurant that you just built is fucked.
Yeah.
Before I even touch anything. The highest member in authority is going to be there. And I'm going to be like, I'm just letting you know, let's walk around. I will show you what I'm talking about. This glass is scratched. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
I'm going to add one little thing to that, and I'm on base with you 100%. So everybody walks around with a cell phone anyway, right? So when you show up to that guy's house or that Chick-fil-A or whatever, and you start your work, and you might necessarily not immediately find the right person to say, hey, there's damage. Take pictures of it. Take pictures of everything. Scratches are very hard to photograph. Take it from an angle. Zoom in on your phone. Make sure you can see it. And then you go to the guy and go, look, I don't want to bother you, but here's some issues I see on your property in areas that I haven't done anything yet. I want you to be aware that there's damage. Because, again, if you just do it at the end of the job, you could be the one blamed for doing the entire problem.
Yep. Always be careful with that shit, man. Like, always be careful with that shit.
Well, here's another thing that I do, and a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people do it. I don't do a lot of construction cleaning. I was called into a house because the guy was scratching glass. And the house still had bulldozers and loaders, and they're landscaping. I mean, and it was just a shit show with contractors there. And there was so much grit and dirt and dust on the windows. The first thing I did, I said, you got a garden? Is there a working hose outlet here? Yeah, right there's a hose outlet. I go on my truck. I always have at least 100-foot garden hose tucked up in my truck. And I take a garden hose to it and a strip washer, and I scrub it up, and I rinse it off to see what stays. Half the time people go, get the scrapers, get the soap and water, get the buckets.
Right.
And they start soaping it up, and they put the blade on it. Guess what? If I rinse the outside of that house, and it's not going to make a mess because it's not inside the garage or whatever, and I can knock 75% of the stuff, because you don't know what sticks and what doesn't until you take a hose and a mop to it.
Right.
A soapy strip washer and a garden hose is not going to damage glass. Okay? At that point, you can see the glass clearly enough most of the time to see if there's damage. And you say, look, I rinsed this off, soap and water, never put anything else on it, and you got scratches.
Well,
get the liability away from yourself.
These windows were pre-cleaned by an outside janitorial company that does construction cleanup for, they come in and they do, and they just decided to do the windows, and they fucked them up. When you see them, you might see them and be like, that's not a big deal, but to me, they are fucked up. Fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
They are bad. Bad.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well,
it's unfortunate, but it happens. You know what I mean?
It is. It's just a shame. It's a shame.
There's a guy that used to rock around here, do a couple of Wendy's that I ended up picking up. They had 2 new restaurants built, and every fucking piece of glass in the place is scratched. You know who did that, but every
same
piece,
guy that does it all the time.
Every piece of fucking glass is fucking scratched. Every piece. It's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate that people aren't knowledgeable. They're just tearing up people's shit. You know what I mean? Because
think of it like you're exactly right. Think of it like this: the same guy that who he is called me when he damaged glass, and he clearly did it. He knows he did it. He doesn't deny he did it. Okay, he did it. He's on the hook for it. There's a $20,000 lawsuit on him. Okay, everybody's pissed off. Okay, that general liability will not cover workmanship, which means if you continue to do that damage, if you're better off taking a rock or dropping hitting it with something and breaking the window, you'll be covered. You lean the ladder, it fell and it cracked the window, you're covered for that. You're not covered for physically doing the damage with your process of cleaning the windows. Okay, they're not going to cover you.
Right.
So that said, the same guy calls me 3 months later after I stood on my soapbox, and he tells me it happened again, one of his employees, and I said, answer this question. The conversation we had when I said to you, take all scrapers away from your employees. Wouldn't you rather have a contractor or a homeowner call you and go, there's still some sticker glue, he didn't get everything off? Wouldn't you rather have to go out, take some mineral spirits or whatever to take off some sticker glue than to have a homeowner call you back and go, by the way, the sun came out and everything is scratched?
Right.
I'd rather leave something and get that complaint for the sticker or the shadow of a sticker. They leave the shadow of a sticker or some silicone. Okay.
Rather than have to, explain a scratch.
Because like I said, look, window cleaning doesn't pay enough
to fuck with that shit. Yeah, dude. Dude. Yeah, dude. It's like I said, it's unfortunate. I've never. I just this is what gets me about the Chick-fil-A is it's not just one window. It's every window. The tops, the bottoms. There's transoms. You know what I mean? So there's a stack of 2 windows, little up above, and then there's 2 long rectangles below. Top, bottom, every window.
Yeah, so
every window, inside and out, has scratches on them.
It's safe to say, right?
Unbelievable.
To do an average Chick-fil-A in and out, and the playground area and the drive-through area, it's safe to say if you got 1 to 2 guys who obviously aren't proficient at window cleaning, it would take them between, let's say, either 8 hours or more than 1 day, right, to do this job. So if you're there for 8 hours and you go back or even if you're there and you stop for lunch and you walk back to the job and you continue to do the same thing, like I said to you, They did it on one window. Everybody makes a mistake. We've all done it. I would never lie and say I've never done it. Scratched a piece of glass, whether it was before I could fix them or after. I've scratched glass after I can fix it, and it sucks. I got to go back and do it for free. I got to fly under the radar and make sure that they're happy when I'm done. But the point is this: you did it, you damaged it, and then you just continue to do what you were doing to start. Is mind-numbing to me.
Yeah, it is. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, Jason. But when I clean something for the first time, it doesn't matter if it's a construction. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a construction cleanup or not. If it's the first time I'm doing something, I walk and make sure, especially with a construction clean, that I walk and make sure that any damage that's on the windows they're aware of before I do anything.
Well, yeah, think about it like this. TJ, someone calls you on the lake. You do my best friend's next door neighbor. He speaks very highly of you. Come give me a price on the window cleaning. TJ goes out there and he looks at the job. He said, I got to charge you $400 to do this. That'll be inside, outside, and we'll rinse the screens down. Say, okay. Now, you don't know that person. She just told you she knows someone else that you clean and they're happy.
Right.
I'm sure, especially in residential, 1,000 times a year, just in pro window cleaning, this happens. The guy's got a broken window, a torn screen, and you don't make him aware of it, or you don't allow him or take a picture of it. And guess what happens? When he goes to cut you that check and he walks the house and says, by the way, that screen wasn't like that before. And you say, well, yeah, it was. I remember cleaning. I remember taking it off. It had a tear in it. No, it didn't. Who's going to win? You're going to take that money off.
They are, because the customer's always right.
And they're going to get you. If they're out to get you, they're going to get you. But if you have a picture of that screen dirty, that's torn, you go, oh, wait a minute now.
Listen, that's that's the same thing. Again, like when I walk the property to bid it or whatever, if there's a scratch in it or a fucking tear in the screen or the bottom of the screen is bent or some Momo dropped it and bent it, taking it off, you know that before I do anything. I'm not playing no games with you hoes. I'm out here trying to maximize my profits. I'm not trying to buy you new screens or, buy you a new piece of... I ain't doing none of that shit. Hey, this window's got a crack in it. I'm not cleaning it. If your window's got a crack in it, I ain't touching it.
Yeah.
If your screen's jacked up, I'm showing you before I take it out of the hole.
I got to show you something real quick. Let me find this picture in my phone. Okay. Okay.
That's just how I do things, But let's see what you got going on there, Yum Yum.
Tell me when you can see it. You see what that is?
Yep.
Okay. Now you see one window. Forget about the arrows, okay? One window still has the film on it, right? I'm doing that construction cleaning and pulling the film off. Now that window is surrounded by 100 other windows, okay? That company actually called me on the weekend and said the 185-foot lift is now gone for $13,000 a week, and you guys missed a window on the 7th floor. And I go, well, wait a minute. Let me see. Where are we talking about? He said the north side. I go, oh, you mean you're thinking the window that I missed has the plastic and the stucco and the mortar and the paint on it? He says, yeah. I can't believe, how did you not see that? I said, I left it that way because we started to pull the plastic and the window had a crack from the top to the bottom. I go, it's documented in my phone that it was cracked. I never pulled the plastic completely off of it because we saw the crack. And if you think I'm that stupid that I would miss one window out of 100 in a curtain wall at 70 feet, you know what I'm saying? I go, so now if you saw that, remember the picture?
Yeah.
There's one there that has a white dot on it with an arrow on it. That one we pulled off and then realized at that point the plastic is off and it's got a crack. So that little white dot has a sticker on it that says coated windows, telling you not to put a blade on them. Okay, every window in that 400 window construction cleaning has that sticker on the outside. I said, so if you look at it, that white dot, that window's got to be replaced, and the one above it, obviously, that has the blue max still on it, has to be replaced. So that's why I put the arrows on it, so that I could email it to them and say, this has nothing to do with me. And guess what? That window goes in from the inside of the building, which is 70 feet high in a building lobby. How they're going to get a window in there at 70 feet on the interior is not going to be easy because the window is like 6 foot by 10 foot.
Woo!
6 by 10, and you
That fucker's going to be heavy as fuck, bro.
Dude, an atrium lift is 500 pounds.
Yeah.
A 90-foot Denka is 500 pounds. They're screwed.
Yeah,
They're
dude.
screwed.
Oh, dude. You talk. There's no way. You're dude. Oh.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
he says
ball
to me,
buster, bro.
You should have just pulled the plastic off it and left it alone. I said, I know it's impact glass, and which is at least, 3/8 or 1/4 inch thick, and it's heavy glass. I mean, Florida glass is made to take impact in a hurricane. Obviously, that's why they call it impact glass. But I've learned my lesson. If a window's cracked, broken, I don't touch it. I'm not going to be responsible for it coming out, hurting somebody, falling to the inside. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if you doubt, leave it alone and take a picture of it.
It's the best thing to do, man. The best thing to do. But man, this is why we do what we do. We're the very best in the world at talking shit on the internet. So, hope you guys enjoyed it, right?
No doubt.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Well,
I enjoy everything about it.
Hopefully, here soon we'll be able to get fucking what's his nuts on here, Tim Huber. That'd be nice.
Tim Huber and what's Frank? I want
Frank Rave.
Yeah, I want.
I'd love to get Frank Rave. Frank Rave.
Yeah.
Frank Rave might be we might have to record that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever he wants,
because he's from overseas, that might be something we might have to set up a special time and date for. But I would love to have Frank Rave on. That'd be dope. Because I don't think he'd be able to do it. Because, I think Casper's asleep right now. So I think he would be asleep, too. So we would probably have to do that during the day. Like on a weekend or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm just saying it'd be cool to get Tim on. Tim's a nice third wheel. I mean, he always talks about coming on. Fucking jerk off.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? So
absolutely.
I don't know. Fuck Tim.
Well, he knows he's welcome at any time.
Yeah. But yeah, man. We'll. What do you think, Mark? Do you think we'll come back Wednesday, do another podcast
Absolutely.
again?
Yeah,
I hope
we'll
so.
Be here Wednesday.
Maybe we'll figure out. Maybe I'll do a Bigfoot moment since Richie ain't worth a shit anymore. So maybe that's what
Richie
I'll do.
I know Richie's got a lot going on.
Fuck Richie. I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm done.
On.
I'm done listening to that.
Yeah.
That's just excuses. He's moderating a fucking Star Trek board. Can't fucking do a fucking Bigfoot moment. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I ain't trying to hear that shit. If you guys would like to support the podcast and become a member of the Sacred Order of the Squeegee, go to www.patreon.com/Squeegee Life and be a podcast donator. That'd be super sweet. We'd really appreciate it. Go check out some Maker products. Go buy a Trident belt. Go buy a fucking, go buy a handy sleevey. Go to outlawwindowcleaner.com. Buy some t-shirts and shit. Spend some fucking money.
And for anyone who's ordered it, it's going to be a while, but if you ordered that Rice Krispie mop,
yeah, it's coming. It's in the mail. And I know the PWMCA is $289 a year, but for under $20 a year, you can be in our organization, the secret.
Under $20 a month.
The sacred order of the Squeegee. For between $1 and $20 a month, man, and you really get some awesome. We're gonna teach you how to fart into your phone properly. We're gonna teach you how to cuss at customers in your truck before you go into the restaurant. Dude, it's gonna be so much shit we're gonna be able to do, man. You know what I mean? I'll show you how to properly wash windows. Mark will teach you how to eat the right amount of Raisin Bran to produce the correct amount of farts. There's so much stuff.
Yourself. Yeah.
There's so much stuff. If you join the Sacred Order of the Squeegee, that you're going to get, and it's going to pay in dividends. You know what I mean? Not only that, you get this wonderful show where once a week you get to ask us any question you want and learn anything you want from us for the low price of $12 a year, or $20 a year, or $20 a month. Whatever you want to do, we'll take your monies. we'll take
That's
your
less
money.
than it costs to feed one of those poodles.
Yeah, and you'll get a cool ass. You'll be a part of the Sacred Order of the Squeegee, man. You'll get your own membership card with your name. I mean, not no cheap shit neither. I'm talking like a plastic credit card with your name punched in it, like a straight savage in them streets, son.
Listen, hey T, not to hash up old shit.
What?
Okay, we said we were going to quiet down, but I
What?
have a couple requests because I know you work on the the intros,
Mhm.
you know, and you got some production in the background
Mhm.
going on.
Mhm.
Maybe you know they could help,
Mhm.
but I would really like to see if we don't get a Bigfoot moment,
Mhm.
or you don't want to incorporate into the entry,
Mhm.
like the Sarah McLaughlin thing and the kickstander. I know we're not going to hash that over, but dude, those are classics that
No,
should
you want to
never go
add those?
away.
You want to add those occasionally?
Just throw one in.
Just
every
throw
now
one
and
in
then.
occasionally.
That's not too much work.
Okay, yeah. We could do that for you.
Yeah. If we don't have a Bigfoot moment produced, put that 3-minute video of the kickstander up, and I giggle my motherfucking ass off.
All right. Okay. We can do that. I can. What I'll do is I'll start loading. I'll start loading some things in before we get going,
Look,
and then as an outro, I'll play one of the old videos for people that maybe haven't seen the old videos.
Yeah.
You know?
Just so you know, T, I'm the kind of person I don't ask nobody for nothing. I really don't.
Right.
I mean,
you're asking that of me. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I feel bad because I know nothing about this shit here.
Yeah.
That it's got to be work and production to go into this.
Right.
But that's a talent that you have that I don't.
Right.
That needs to be
Oh.
expressed.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna try and do my best for you. You know what I mean? I'll definitely try for that.
It never lets me down. It just
Okay.
makes me laugh.
All right,
I
well-
enjoy laughing.
Well, you know what? I have a good time. I have a good time doing those. I know a lot of people don't find them funny, but I think they're funny.
I want to see the wheelchair video.
Yeah. I got you, bro. You know what I mean? I got you. I mean, I think that's a reasonable request. I think that's a reasonable request. You know what I'm going to try to do for everybody? I'll try to find one right now as we're going out here. And maybe you guys will get to enjoy one of our older videos, me being a dipshit. I don't know if I can find one. Let me see. Man, I don't have the right drive plugged into the computer right now. I might.
Kevin.
I don't.
Kevin. That guy disappeared. That guy bought a new truck,
Yeah.
new used truck, and disappeared.
Disappeared. He drove off the face of the earth. He's
I
like,
think the Beavis and Butthead thing where we told him we were going to do it to everybody, shut him down like Chinatown.
right. Well, guys, we will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, you can find us on iTunes. Go on iTunes if you have an Apple device. Go on iTunes. Leave us a review on iTunes, man. Get the show more visible to other window cleaners that are searching for it. Or go to Podbean and do the same thing. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And we really appreciate all you guys. And we will see you next Wednesday. And I'm going to leave you guys with the FRB Association movie. You guys, I hope you guys enjoy it. And we will see you guys next week. Okay?
Guys, be safe.
Okay? Peace. I don't know if this is going to work, though, dude. This might not work, man. We'll see. Be patient, everyone. Be patient. Let's see here. Let's see.